Yeah, I said I was gonna work on some infrastructure stuff between now and last time, and I started doing that, but I kind of felt like I was overwhelmed by uh sort of organizing and prioritizing various tasks. So instead of like deep diving on technical debt, I'd like worked on just having a nice sort of set of goals. Also, like by actually setting goal dates, I can feel it if I slip and like am sort of documenting how much I slip by stuff. Um, so yeah, these are the four things on, or I don't know, these everything on 620 is today. What we're gonna try and do. So rearrange UI. The current UI is in the top middle of the screen. It looks very placeholder because it is. I think it won't be finalized, but I'm gonna move it to the bottom. Have like the heart, the life, and the money on the bottom left and bottom right. I don't know which is which. Uh, and then I can have the line warning UI in the middle, which is just the death box that's chasing you. It's hard to know that's close. Um, and once it's on screen, you won't. You'll, it's almost gotcha. We need some UI there to show you that it's close, even if it's not currently on screen. Um, that's just sort of like the first chunk of stuff for this UI tweaks. Second chunk of stuff here is work into the spawning system, basically the ability to spawn in like non-enemy chunks. So this is going to be for like a rest area and a shop. So this is just sort of building in the infrastructure to the chunk spawning system to like every however many, I don't know, put in a rest area and put in a shop where the rest area, as long as you stay in there, the bar would stop moving and you can like get up or just like reassess, take a moment, look ahead, plan what you want to do. I don't know. But yeah, I figured that's just like the most basic type, where it's just all it does is stop the bar, and there's nothing special in it. It just stopping the bar, because then like the shop also needs to stop the bar that's chasing you. So it's kind of like an expansion of the rest area. But yeah, we would also have the shop where you can actually turn in some of the money you earn as you're climbing and stuff. Um, in for upgrades. So yeah, we're gonna try and do base a little bit of UI stuff at the beginning, then changing the chunk infrastructure to support eventually adding rest area and shop. Okay, and then hopefully I would have put this on like the line kind of between 620 and 627 is like if it's time, start working on the shop UI to have like a system that upgrades can plug into. Even though we have no upgrades for now, upgrades will be next week, 627. I can also have visibility to. I made this other task list for like offline dev stuff. Just trying to. This is like the more like, or I guess the less exciting technical debt type stuff, or like deep infrastructure type stuff, code cleanup. But still just sort of having it on a similar task system uh, with goals so I can keep track of, you know, progress moving this towards being done. And I can also, just because I might be interesting, I have like a big pile of, I think this is like the main thing where I was just going to put in like what I was planning for the future. Yeah, let me zoom in. So this is kind of the outline of 6 levels uh, that basically just use the Retrolines tile set, just using the enemies I already have access to. Where we going from sort of what we're doing now is like the grassy level 1, the easy area type place. Um, then we would go to more trees, different enemies. Um, then the desert, we get like wops, more aggressive flying enemies, less predictable movement behavior. starts adding in some wind. Then top of the mountain, sort of like a snowy, couple slippery platforms, perhaps. That sort of vibe, maybe more focused on slowing you. And then you go up into space, and then you go into fight the vine itself type deal. That's like an outline of, I guess, like probably somewhat aspirational, but it doesn't call for any assets that I don't have or any tech that I don't know how to make. So it's really just a matter of nose of the grindstone, getting the content flowing. So let's go ahead and do that. I also have a stream notes page. Just like I've been keeping notes in a notepad. I feel like this is better. So yeah, I mean, I forget if I went over this, but last stream added the ability to collect money and hearts. And between now and then offline, I like cleaned up script organization and set up this OneNote, and this is sort of what we're planning on doing this time that I already went through in the task list page. So yeah, let's I'm just gonna plow forward, hope I don't have to mark any of those tasks as slipped. So first we have rearrange UI. So oops. Yeah, I don't need to know it's coming soon. OneNote, it's okay. All right. So, like I said, I just want bottom left, bottom right, I think. Yeah, I don't want to get hung up on this. I'll just kind of plow forward. We're going to do, for now, health bottom right, money bottom left. I'm going to get rid of this Tesseract as well there. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's find our canvas. Probably under... I have no idea what it's under. I just have to expand stuff, though, and I'll find it. GSM, maybe? Okay, yeah, it's under the game state manager. Oh, which I guess makes sense in that it's like controlling this UI text and stuff. But yeah, we want to look at this game group. So this is the group, the UI group for what shows up during the game. Let's go ahead and set the alpha to 1 just for testing purposes. We can see 30-30, and we want the health to be moved to the bottom right and the money to be moved to the bottom left. Trying to like, oh, there's like 2 different things here. All right. So this is the health. Bottom right. So can I just change the anchor? Yeah, right, bottom, and then change this offset. I don't even know if I need to do anything. This is pretty correct. Let's see how it looks on the screen. Because I want to make sure this like 695 scaling factor here is just making it fit in sort of like the Unity layout I've chosen. But yeah, see, if you expand it, it got a little bit more closer to the edge. We probably want a slight shift to the left there. So let's do like -32. -16 is probably fine. Okay. And we just do the reciprocal thing for money. We want it 16 to the right. No Y offset on the bottom left. And we just have to set the alpha back to 0 because that's what we want it to be for the actual game, because we don't want to show the game text while we're in the start screen. So cool. UI update complete there. First thing, just crossing stuff off furiously. Okay, next, the warning bar UI. I think for starters, if we want it to be the concept of like when it's not on screen, we should move it down, move its starting position down. We can increase its speed slightly if we want to offset it, but yeah, I don't want the UI to be displaying in the beginning, so I want it far enough below that it would not initially trigger. So let's think. Um, I need to figure out where that line is. I think it might be World Manager. Let's take a look. It doesn't appear to be. Maybe I could just search my thing for Death Box. Hey, we did it. Oh, it was World Manager. Stop. Visual Studio, stop. This looked fine, right? Yeah, everything's good. Alright. So, World Manager, Advanced Death Box. It doesn't look like, I don't see any assumptions based on its initial position, so I think I can just move it down. So, all right, negative 25, that seems far enough below. Let's also take a look at acceleration. Well, I'll just increase these values very slightly to see if we can get roughly similar. Okay, now that we move that down, let's double check. Just because I didn't see any in this script doesn't mean there are no assumptions based. Oh, I should zoom in, yeah. But yeah, just make sure we're still good. Moving the death box down, it's still like rising at a reasonable rate. Just jump up a little bit. I got Downwell on my phone because I figure it's a pretty similar game. It's just going the other direction, right? Or I guess maybe that makes it very different, but I mean, kind of similar. Yeah, I'm wondering if I need like, I think I might need some kind of offensive thing associated with the jump, like in Downwell. I don't know. That makes it easier to design bosses for starters, because you can give them like health that can be like, you know, hit with your offensive act over time. But it also like does the same thing for enemies, I think. If it's just dodging, all you can do is avoid the enemies. So all I can do is really like vary the movement patterns. But if they could have health, they could be sort of more obstructive in that you could remove them. There's just kind of like a limit on how obstructive they can be in a world where, oh man, like this tree, like this, yeah, I'm doomed. That seems roughly the same. Maybe maybe the speed. I felt like I wasn't doing that badly, and it kind of got me sooner than I expected. So I'll put some of these slightly back down. But it didn't break anything. That was 4 or 5 before, so we're splitting the difference there. Okay. So, we now need a new piece of UI. So I'm gonna add some text. I think I'll just, again, maybe there are the icons I want to use for this in the future. But I think I can just do for now as like a proof of concept. I'm just gonna put, yeah, death box, warning, text. Just do exclamation points. Just do yellow single exclamation point, orange double exclamation point, red triple exclamation point, and then it's on screen. Let's see if that works. We have score that's something else. Death box, debug canvas group. So, oh, I guess the existing text is just working through like automatic components like health listeners and health displays and stuff. So they're not going through this. But since this is the component in charge of the death box, this is probably the component that that should also be responsible for the Deathbox UI. Come on. Yeah, why? I hit the wrong F key and it wants to attach and like kill me, man. Anyway, we're gonna add a property for some private text that is deathbox warning text. And then I just add 3 constants here, right? Where it's like 3 distances. I'm just gonna randomly guess, and then we'll have to actually play some and see what is reasonable. Far warning distance, or warning distance far. I don't know, 15, 10. Let's say 15. Warning distance mid. Warning distance close. And I forgot to actually say these are floats, but they are. Okay. So I was thinking about like, oh, do I want to calculate the bottom of the screen? I don't think so. I think I just want to tweak these values, and just use the player because it's easy and I have access to it. So in advanced Deathbox, I think that's probably a fine place. It's not like a big monolithic function. It's not doing that much. We can add in this functionality. So what is it? Deathbox text or something? Yeah, so it's if where do I get the player's position? I have it, I think. Difficult update player height, yeah. So that is current player height. All right. So float death box distance is current player height. Current player height minus whatever the death box height is, which is just newpos.y. And then we can just do like an if-else series of checks, starting with the biggest number, right? Or the smallest number. Yeah, it should be the smallest number if it's a more severe warning. You want the thing you check for first is effectively overriding the other things. So I have this as M. I want to change it to K just for since it's a const. I like having a nice naming convention. So K something. Deathbox distance, warning distance close. And then we do else if warning distance mid. Else if deathbox distance is less than warning distance far. Okay. Now in each of these cases, we just set the text. And in the else case, we reset the text to nothing. So that's something text. Xbox warning text.text is color is red. And then I can just copy pasta this. Technically, these could have a common path, but like, why? What am I saving myself, really? Orange? I'm gonna have to look up orange. Does anybody know the hex for orange? I don't. Oh my god, tell me 100 shades of orange. I just give me the most standard shade of orange, man. Orange, ED7014. Do you take a hex code? Oh god, it doesn't take a hex code. ED is 237, which is 0.93. Seven zero is 16 times 7, so that's 7 plus 42, so 112, and 112 over 255 is 0.44. And what's our last value here? 14, that's just 20. 20 over 255. It's going to be a little bit less than 0.1. Yeah, 0.08. Okay. And then yellow for far. And in the else case, set the text to nothing. The color doesn't matter because there's no text to have a color. All right. All we have to do is put the text in the right spot and connect the text to the script. So text already exists, just needs to be moved to the middle and get rid of the X offset because the middle is what we want. Can we see that? ASD? Where are you? Oh, I need the... Oh, right. It's in a hidden canvas group. Well, let's turn on the canvas group just so I can see it. Yeah, I did it wrong. Good thing I checked. I have it left center. It needs to be bottom center. There. And color doesn't matter because it'll set the color programmatically, make it slightly bigger, I think. Since it can only be 3 things max and it's like a pretty important message, it won't be there all the time. What else? I don't think anything. I think we can just test this. We just put game group back to 0 and then add that connection to our world manager script. Death box warning text. All right, I'm just gonna stay still for a second to let it get closer to me. And then if it spawns the UI, I will try and outrace it to hopefully see the UI disappear. I think that's good enough for me, but, and okay, these numbers need to be bigger. They're only telling me when it's already on the screen pretty much. Something like this. Is there something else I want to check? I don't think so. All right, let it catch up to me. Oh, I mean, maybe I should move it down a little bit more, but and I just want to see, okay, red is after it got on screen, so it does need to be very slightly more, and maybe less on this. Something like that. So based on this, it tells you half a screen away now. I'll have to jump up and see if that feels correct, but first just double checking. I just want to make sure, I want to see it switch to red like a little bit before it appears on screen, which is pretty much how we're at. Although this threshold where I don't know where it's getting this number. Oh, you know what? I probably copied the text and it has like a listener component or something on it. But I can fix that. It's not really I mean, it can mess it up, but it looks like it isn't in practice messing up what I'm testing, so. The other nice thing I found about a offensive action like in Downwell is it lets you have a combo system where killing enemies gets you gem. Hello. We are testing our Deathbox warning UI right now. There's I think it's connected to the money as well by accident, which is why you might see flickering text. Yeah, but have you heard about Rogue Voltage? No. Uh-oh. I wasn't paying, I was reading the chat and the bar closed up on me. Yeah, I think I need to, since I was seeing, like in a single jump, I was seeing, this value, switch between like yellow and red, which isn't really what I want. So I need to stretch this out a little bit more, which means I'll probably also have to, ooh, I didn't want to go there. I'll probably also have to decrease the, or increase the starting distance so it's not showing up. Oh wait, I did this backwards. Is it a roguelike? It has rogue in the name. What's half of this? 6.25. So 18.75. What's innovative about it? Alright, let's also, yeah, let's, yeah, there's the health listener I was talking about where it's saying this is a component to say, hey, set yourself to whatever the player money is, which is not what we want for this text. It's just on there because I copy pasted it. Alright, we stretched out our thing. We got rid of the buggy looking stuff. Let's test again really quick. Basic idea, made a multiple characters, grid. Oh, I forgot to move this down. Let's also move this down. Where are you, Deathbox? Can I just search? Death. At negative 25, we gotta maybe do negative 30. I want you to be able to stay still for a second or two without it immediately appearing. Which, this is like a second or two. I think I also might want to have like a stickiness to this. So like if you're right on the edge, it's not like appearing and reappearing rapidly. I'm gonna let it catch up to me a bit to like demonstrate what I'm talking about. Can freely swap any non-starting modules between turns. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Anything with like, yeah, see, that's that swappy thing I don't like. Anything with heavy combat is usually not good for a game jam. Unless you already, it's possible, I guess, other people might have more sophisticated, oh, I'm gonna die here. Other people might have more sophisticated setups than me, like of existing components that they can easily tap to implement complicated stuff, more complicated stuff like combat. in a short amount of time. But I don't think my stuff is there yet. Also, I feel like if you that's definitely a tension. I feel like I don't think I'm anywhere even close to there yet, but eventually if you just keep adding and adding to like your toolbox and you're using all toolbox pieces, like at a certain point it's against the spirit of a game jam, I think. I don't know. Is that true? Because like designers can use out of the box solutions and stuff. No one says you have to code it all. Um, yeah, dude. I'm looking at this picture. This picture of this is not a this is not a game jam system. Holy shit, dude. How long do you think it takes to make this UI functionable? UI functional. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Fancy UI.exe. What was I doing here? Oh yeah, sticky frames. Okay. Min frames on warning. I don't know. 5. It just can't yeah, I don't know. Maybe when is the next Brachy Jam? Did I already miss that, or I think it's coming up? Or a mini game jam? It's either Game Maker's Toolkit or Brachy's Jam Jam that's about to happen. 23.1. It's over already. Okay, so it's not that. It must be the other one. Yeah, GMTK. Oh, 48 hours. Jesus. And it's not even 4th of July weekend. It's the other weekend. 48 hours is rough. I had a hard enough time in 72 hours. And then also, yeah, it's also Europe time, which means you basically lose some of your hours. I'd done that in the past. I don't remember how well it did. Let me see. Let me check my website. Usually I can get like, I don't know, 10 to 30% ish. Which one of these is GMTK? Is there one? Maybe not. Game. I guess I didn't. I only did Brackies. I feel like I did this game jam at some point. If I look around, no, that's not right. Game dev, game jams, not game assets. GMTK. Circle key. Oh, you know what? I think this is the one. Yeah. This is the one where I tried to do it, but I couldn't. Because I was like looking down the barrel of 12 hours left or something. And I'm like, dude, how does anybody do this? I don't know. Something like Spider-Man, or I forget what I was doing. Or you were a spider maybe? But yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes on the really big ones, like just small game studios just like take work days to do it. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Even a 72 hour you need to know life to like do well. If it were 4th of July weekend, I might try it because then I probably will have like some time off to bridge the weekend gap anyway. But the weekend after, it's like I'm probably not gonna have time off. I'm specifically not. Anyway. M min frame M warning min frames counter. If M something. What was it? Counter. Counter is probably enough. Warning min frames counter is less than or equal to 0. You can do this. However, whenever you do this, you set warning min frames counter to whatever the thing was. K something, min frames on warning. I think it's constant. It's not supposed to be. I'm not even going to see what the red squiggly line is telling me. I think that's it. But then I accidentally hit. Yep. All right. It's not a huge thing. I'll wait. Oh, I need to decrement it. Or I guess in the else case. I feel like if I don't know, it's I wonder why the more popular game jams tend to be shorter time span. Like they're even like game jams are like 15 days or a month or something. But all the most popular ones are like in a weekend or something. And it's just like even if you know life it's so hard to do. Maybe I'm just continually picking overscoped ideas. You can't even dwell on it for too long. Like how much time are you like looking at the theme and thinking of what your idea is gonna be? It's just like pissing away hours. That like every hour is so valuable. Alright, it looks like this works. I'm trying specifically to trigger the finicky behavior that I just tried to put that counter in to prevent. And it, yeah, that's a little quick, but still, it has that delay to make it not feel like every other frame that always feels like a bug. Maybe the delay could be slightly increased, but for the most part, this seems to work. And I don't have any reason to suspect there's a problem. Yeah, I know in my heart that like, damn it. I know in my heart that I could, like, yeah, exactly. If I really wanted to try hard, I could go make prototypes ready to go for the 5 different ideas. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. It's at a certain point it kind of feels like cheating. And like it's not like I'm winning money or anything. Like the whole point is the challenge, so it's kind of like your programming teacher said, like you're just cheating yourself type deal. I don't know. It definitely walks a line. The spirit of the rules is to like do the thing in the amount of time. I feel like the spirit of the rules is like pretty much like going in blindfolded with no tech. Even like I feel like I'm slightly bending having like a common tech I guess like the challenge isn't me rewriting basic collision detection for the 20th time. That's not really what this is about. That's sure that would take me 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something to integrate a new version of that every time. So it is saving time, but I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to articulate exactly what is fine and what is not fine when it comes to pre-work for a game jam. But I feel like you should err on the side of less pre-work. Anyway, we have no reason to believe that is broken, so we are also crossing this off our list. Okay. Next, we're gonna make our special chunks. So, in Spawnables platform spawner, what's up? Yeah, I think you weren't here when when I went through we got stream tasks, we got offline dev tasks, we got offline like research and promo tasks. And then also I got like just the idea pile. I can go over it again, I guess. But like yeah, this is just a thing of all the sort of enemies and hazards evolving over time you could potentially do. This is somewhat ambitious, somewhat aspirational, but like I guess I don't have a time threshold really. But yeah, the vibe would be just going higher and higher and higher. You get top of the mountain, slippery snow stuff. We switch to the desert tile set when we're decently high up in the hills, get some wafts that are chasing you a bit more aggressively than the chickens. I think there's basically a progression outlined here that would be nice to do, and doesn't really even call for any assets I don't already have access to, or any tech that's pretty complicated. This is just a matter of building out the content, I think, which a decent chunk of it already exists. I just need to arrange it like this. But the way to do that is to keep plowing forward on these tasks lists. So infra to designate chunks with atypical behavior. Right. Okay, so in our chunk spawner here, platform spawner, I'm just gonna say this will probably be reworked to a certain degree offline, like how we decide when to spawn these special chunks. But for now, I'm just gonna say private const int k rest area frequency. We'll just say 8. So once every 8 chunks, we're going to spawn this special chunk, which is a rest area, which you can while you're in here, the thing doesn't advance. It's kind of like the base class special chunk that the shop will eventually be a more complicated version of. So we need a counter for that. Or, yeah, I don't think we're... Yeah, real quick, what's up? It's a counter when it's an int, it's a timer when it's a float. You should save add min time to clock. I don't know what you mean. Like it pushes the thing down? Oh yeah, I think that's fine. Like it won't actually start back up immediately, right? Yeah. It'll start back up like over a second or two after you leave, yeah. All right, special chunk counter. Right, and then like the second they jump out, they just yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna call this mchunk counter. We happen to be using it to decide when to spawn special chunks, but that doesn't necessarily need to be the case. Okay, so spawn chunk here. And we just, there's no like if about this, so we can just do at the bottom of this. chunk counter plus equals 1. And, right? What's wrong with this? Oh, it's probably a const by accident. It is. Okay, and also here, if chunk counter modulo rest chunk frequency or something, k rest chunk frequency. Does this start at 1? I don't want this to start immediately. There. Now it can't do the first one. So if this is not the first chunk and our chunk counter is divisible by our rest area frequency, and we'll do that. We'll just put our normal case here in the else, and the chunk counter will increment no matter what in both cases. Okay. But we need to spawn this, and I think we want basically just a special prefab, special platform prefab that we spawn in like a favorable type location, maybe like a bubble. I definitely want in the future to have like a tiny type effect that also grays out everything not in the rest area. I think that'd be very cool. And also we can have the gray out like kind of pulse out from the bubble as you enter it. That'd be cool stuff. But for now, I'm just gonna probably throw in a circle. Let's get something happening in game before we worry about cool shader effects. I need to keep like that's the whole thing. Task list, just keep plowing forward, keep getting these tasks crossed off. Sort of working with more not enthusiasm, but I guess urgency. Because I feel like now that I've like actually in a centralized document, not just a notepad, said, all right, this is what I want to do today, I don't want to slip it. Whereas like I'll lose my notepad the next time I restart my computer. All right, so plowing forward, then we are making a special prefab to be our like basically our rest area. And I just think I just want to make the whole chunk. Just like handcraft the chunk. I guess I have a big and a small folder here. I'll make a special folder. Special. Okay, and I want to grab our simplest small platform as a base to get started. I guess I have to duplicate, not copy paste. We're gonna call this rest area 1. Or I guess rest area 0. Move it into special. All right, we open it up. And I think this should aim to be roughly the size of a chunk, and I just spawn it in the middle of the chunk. I don't worry about any of this like probabilistic logic. Just draw it in here, have the player show up in it. Or, I mean, spawn it into the world. I think this is also likely how bosses will work. I don't think I want to overlay at least most of the bosses over just the random spawning AI director or whatever. For the most part, I think I want to handcraft boss arenas. Oh yeah, Tice, I don't think you were here when I was talking about this, but I've been playing Downwell on my phone to like get ideas and you know, just see what it's like. I feel like the shooting and the killing enemies definitely add something there, especially like the combo system makes it feel like it's going. I guess I have the being chased to kind of feel like it's going, but I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on like attacks? I don't know. I wouldn't just copy the same kind of like Downwell bullet boots, but I'm wondering what could be something similar. to maybe you have to upgrade into it and it's only a factor in later levels or more, maybe it's in the base, I don't know. But would it be better? Is it more fun? Is it likely to be more fun? Oh, maybe like a counter button, like in Melee type deal, where if you like, I don't know, flick a cape or something at the exact moment you would hit, it's a kill. That's interesting. I can see this is also the nice thing. See how this is better than I can add notes of. Or downwell like attack. Maybe a parry instead. I'll put counter / parry. Parry could reset jump. I believe you probably, and especially lately I've been having some like reliability issues in OneNote. It opens itself back up, but it sometimes randomly crashes, which you hate to see it. Like it's still an annoyance. But I don't know. I do love the OneNote organization. Like look at this. Look at all these OneNotes. These aren't even all my OneNotes. I like the sort of 2 levels of hierarchy. As a note-taking thing. But yeah, I maybe would try Obsidian or something. I'm just too into it now. Like, saw all those other OneNotes like that were in it. Parry could reset jump, or this could be an upgrade. That's kind of like Cuphead, right? Kind of like, see, Cuphead. Cuphead parry is a possible reference. Not. It's trivial to like convert a handful of files. It's not trivial to convert probably thousands of note pages over, 24 notebooks. It's just I'm too into it. I'm too deep. I don't think you can export these as like a list of pages, or at least I'm not aware. And even doing that across like dozens of notebooks is quite the task. Anyway, remember, plowing forward, cross off as many tasks as possible. We're making our special chunk rest area 0. I'm kind of wondering what this like, why is this selection box like this? Is it not in 0, 0? I guess. I thought I took time to try and get all of them in 0, 0. If I do that, does it reduce the bounding box? I guess if this is the center, this is where I would need to move my boy here. This is not the thing to get focused on. I should just, can I duplicate this? Copy, paste. Control click maybe? No. Shift click? I think click and drag one of the modifier keys would duplicate this. But not that. Whatever. I'm not like, I'll just make it. First of all, I feel like I got weirded out by that. Let's just, I don't have any problem with this platform's positioning, so let's just assume its positioning is correct. And I think I just want I don't have one-way platforms yet. That is a future goal. I want these early areas to be more dominated by one-way platforms. I think that's easier. I think it's easier to definitely be able to jump through than to be able to have to jump around. But I will need to double check the like physics implications of that. I might have to tweak some stuff. And I'm not familiar. Like it's not like for the most part stuff I do on stream I like know what I need to do. I just need to do it type deal. could have sworn there was a way to copy paste easily on the tile map, but I don't remember what it is, and I don't want to waste time looking for it. Get the corner pieces wrong every time. Classic. I think I can maybe move this up a bit. I basically want to have two tiers of guys here. Fine. Well, you need to move up or down. You're in the middle. I don't want you to be in. There you go. Down. It's fine. And then one being up. I'm just trying to basically make like a friendly. Oh, you know what I worry about though? Maybe I do want to undo it. That's up enough. I want to keep this nice and open. I want this to like be a reprieve type deal. I can have this be slightly above though. Technically, it's supposed to be. I don't know. I just need to make this, I think, and like spawn it into the world and then tweak from there. I think I will need to do a pat to have stuff like that, to have like one-way platforms and also like parry jump resets or um I think all of that like there's basically a big jump task where I really need to get it to like as perfect if 90% what you're doing is jumping or like maybe we can add in parrying so like maybe it'll be less jumping but either way jumping needs to be like the like tight as possible no problems. But I don't know, I think I just need to watch like a handful of tutorials. Do I really not have a circle? And just tutorials and tweaking values, I think. I really just need to like squeeze in all these 10% improvements and really get the jumping to a high quality. I think it's decent already, but room to improve for sure. It is improved over the state that was originally in the game jam, but still stuff I can do. All right, but here, what are we doing? Right, we're making a sprite because there's a built-in. You have to basically import the built-ins like circle, square if you just want basic testing stuff. So I just need to add a circle there to my sprite folder. So I can use a circle here for my bubble. Oh, this needs to be like huge, right? 2020. And then we scoot it a little bit. And then we put it at -1 and also at an opacity, like a transparency, I mean. There. And I want to decorate this with like at least like other guys, other stickman guys. But for now, let's spawn this into the world. So yeah, step 1 is spawn it into the world. Step 2 is actually have it stop time. And then a future step is decorate it. For now, I am spawn chunk. For now, I'm gonna designate these individually because I think it's only gonna be like rest area, upgrade boss, and usually if you can like count it on one hand type deal, it's dumb to generalize it. So, yeah, we're just gonna start with explicitly referencing our special chunks. So it's a serialized field, private. It's possible in the future I might want other configurations of rest areas, like just different platforms, just to mix it up. If I have like if I start using more decoration sprites, that also might just add some variety. And in that case, I can do a similar naming convention system where I just have like rest area is RA or something 0-0, you know, and then you just pick a random one. They're all the same, but like they use the different tile sets. Yeah, it sounds like that's where we'll go long term. But for now, we're getting it on the screen. Plow forward. That's the motto of today. Plow forward. Rest area prefab. Okay, so here's our special case. We have mnext spawn height. So I think we just do that. I don't know, let's see where it shows up. I think next spawn height is the base. So we want probably this, like as if it were in the top quadrant, because that would spawn it like towards the middle. I don't know. Let's get in there. So it's just instantiate, right? Let's take a look at what spawn chunk row is doing. Just double check I'm not missing anything. Yeah, it's mostly rolling random positions and doing like the minimum jump height thing. So I really should just be able to instantiate. I think that's all I really need to do. Rest area prefab. I guess I need to calculate a position. We'll just keep it simple though. Vector 3, I guess, 2. Well, I guess float rest area Y, we'll say, is this. And we can like you don't make sense to be here anymore. This. Try this value, and we can tweak it if we want to. And the X is just 0. Pos at no rotation. Quaternion.identity. Anything else? I do not think so. I don't want to spawn collectibles in there. I think. Are these adjusting? Okay, I need to set mPrevious chunk Y. But mnext spawn height is fine. Where I lost track of where I was. It's the green here. Another good reason to use version control, Visual Studio. If you notice these green bar, it's showing me where in the code there are changes. So if I get lost, like I just did, I can just take a look at where there are green bars and find the areas that have been changed recently. This whole stream is just evangelism? Is that it? I'm the prophet of version control, basically. A missionary of version control. There's a chance this might. I'm gonna have to take a look. This might mess up. This might call it reintroduce drift, so it's something to watch out for. But let's just spawn the world. Let's get working. Okay, so world manager, rest area prefab, assets, rest QRS, rest area. Let's see how that looks. It should be on the 8th chunk, which is not all that high up. So let's go. What an annoying overhang this is. See, like, this is something that smarter. Oh, I guess I can just pop up over there. Something smarter spline-based placement would fix. I'm just gonna keep flying up. We want to find our bubble. It'll be very obvious. It's not like we can miss it. Has this really not been 8 chunks? I guess seems like maybe that's a good frequency for a game, but not for testing. Is 8 just a bigger number than I think? Or is this broken? Oh, there it is. It's too high up, for sure. Okay, and this is 2, but we spawned it in. Go us. We're gonna reduce that 8 to a lower number for the purpose of testing. And we're gonna start at just M next spawn height instead. And we will use previous chunk Y as halfway up like this. I think this should be fine. We'll see. All right, we should see it a lot sooner, and we would hope that it'll be a little bit closer to the previous set of stuff, and it will, what's the word? It will, not overlap the next one. So we're in chunk 0 right now. It's chunk 1, 2, 3. Should be the next one or the one after that. Yeah, there it is. Overlap is bad. It needs more. Maybe 0.25 is the way, because now this jump is a bit much. So let's say like this. And this. We'll do this. And then you can just adjust this as you want. Oh wait, no, this stays. So actually I'm gonna go back. I didn't want to do that. Put that back. This stays, but this, we're gonna get like a quarter chunk height or something. Or we'll just say rest area offset. Okay, good. Red line goes away. Charge into game. Climbing. Chunk 0, now 1. Crossing over into 2. This will be 3. And there's 4. Pretty reasonable to get up here, and pretty good distance to the next. Or I guess maybe it's a bit too close. Yeah, I just need to boop this down a tad. Probably. And then the time stop stuff. I think I guess I'm not sure how I feel about re-enabling it if you fall down there. You know, is it just one and done and then like the bubble pops type deal? Or is it you can always hop down in there to, it's always just sort of like a respite of the rising line? I guess it's easier from an implementation perspective for it to just be whenever you're touching this, I'll freeze the timer. But I wonder, I'm just trying to think if there are any like weird bad incentives of you to like repeatedly fall down here. I don't think so. Hearts regen faster based on proximity to firewall. I don't know what you mean. Ooh, dead. That way, decision to give up distance. Oh, like you're saying if they... like hang out. Yeah. They could just hang out and then pop into the rest area and then regen. Yeah, I guess that is a good point. Since I don't know if I was gonna have it be all the time, maybe a lesser extent all the time, but I was gonna have it like you'd be able to have an upgradable type thing to heal more in rest areas. Just always trying to think of more upgrade. I want just like this massive pile of upgrades, you know what I mean? So that I can actually randomly pick them and get some different options every now and then. But yeah, so I guess I wanted to like kind of pop the bubble if you leave it. So it needs a new component. MISC players spawnables UI. Spawnables, it's a subsection of platforms, which are spawnables. I'm going to say chunks, and I'm going to move platform spawner in there. It was previously the only platform script, so it was alone. Now it's got a friend. It's going to get a folder. Go for it. So, new script. We're going to call it safety bubble or safe bubble. Oh, wait. What's up? I got a force multiplier for upgrade? Sure, hit me with it. Don't I have a Q collision or something? Trigger Q I simple trigger reaction? Looks like I have an interface for it. What do I do? Oh, this is just okay. This is just pre-setting up all the plumbing for me, which is great. That's what I want to do. Oh, I guess I would need 2 of them. Really, on trigger needs a second parameter. Just make more powerful copies of existing up the only apply when on the same screen. Oh yeah, sure. Risk reward, more powerful versions or risk reward versions of upgrade that are over budget and more powerful if the firewall is close or on the screen. Okay, so the problem with this simple trigger reaction, unfortunately, is it's simple is I definitely mean it. Because I want to do a different thing on enter and exit, so that requires a I can't use this basically. I just need to, but I can use this to steal these callbacks that I hate typing out, and Unity always auto completes incorrectly. Okay, trigger enter, trigger stay I don't care about. Trigger exit I do care about. Where is that other thing? Q simple QI simple trigger reaction would be the name of it. Yeah, okay. So it's just calling trigger impl. Yeah, it's fine. I'm just stealing it. Stealing it. I wish I had a better base class here, but there's no. I feel like you need or you want multiple inheritance to solve this in C#, and I don't have multiple inheritance, so. Stat. Actually, I'm not even gonna. I don't need to require a tag. So I don't need this. Right, I'm just gonna set up the collision layers, so the only thing that can the player is the only thing that will interact with safe bubbles. So on trigger, we basically, I think, when we create the safety zone, we should tell the safe bubble, actually, if I mess with the time scale, you won't be able to move within it. So I can't just mess with the time scale. It's annoying. I wish I could mess with the time scale for everybody but the player. I don't know. We can, we'll deal with that in a second. Let's just get it basically working in terms of stopping the line. That's the most important part of it. It doesn't necessarily need, well, I think it should actually stop time, because that'll be a cool visual effect, especially if there's like a delay of 2 or 3 seconds where you could like see, oh, I'm like, there's a chicken flying by, I'm running away from this chicken, I jump into the safe zone, it slows down to a stop, and then the firewall does as well. All right, so trigger enter 2D, we don't need to care about checking this collision because we're going to set up the collision layers such that the only thing that this can possibly collide with is the player. And what we do in that case is we need to inform the world manager that we have entered a safety bubble and it needs to stop the... Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm going to make a note of that. When implement slowdown tech for cooler entrance exit with safety bubbles, design in a way so that it could be used by the player if they get an upgrade or upgrades. Or I don't know, something, would you say something like that should feel baseline? I always want to put things into upgrades, have more upgrades. But yeah, maybe it's like very bad or like very quick. Yeah. Maybe that could be the thing instead of, well, I don't know. I don't want to go to too many buttons to have the possibility of putting it on mobile. Like downwell is just left, right, and a button, which is perfect. So I feel like, do I need to choose between a parry and a time slow? I'm not sure. Would I choose? Because when you add in a second button, especially if it's conditional, like it's not a baseline thing, now you have like a not obvious phone UI problem. Maybe baseline, but very little of it. And upgrades and maybe typical regen rate should interact with distance from firewall. Okay. Safe bubble. We need the world manager. And we need to expose the ability to set it. So public void set world manager, and then we'll have a private world manager. So basically, when the world manager spawns this in, or when the platform spawner spawns it in, it'll say, hey, here's the world manager. So then when the player enters the safe bubble, they can report up to the world manager that should stop the advance of the death box. Eventually, this can also communicate to some kind of time slow interface. But for now, the world manager is in charge of advancing the death box. We have to report this to the world manager. So, and since it's a spawnable type object, we can't just set up that link in like the Unity editor, because like these safe bubbles don't actually exist in the Unity editor, right? They're only spawned in at runtime. Okay, so private world manager and worlds. Set world manager W mworld equals W. And then on trigger enter 2D, mworld, this will need a new function. So let's just go do that now. Public. Wow. Criblic. Public void enter enter slow bubble. Or I said safe bubble. I'm gonna have consistent name. I think I would have it be safe too if there were ever enemies that shot projectiles, or if enemies were erroneously spawned, they should probably just like disintegrate or skip it or something. I don't know. So we have enter safe bubble. We're also going to need an exit safe bubble. And then we can put parameters here about that control our safe bubble. So I guess it's I guess the main one we mentioned before and Tice you mentioned is the delay. So I'll say private what's the word? A float. What is a float? I am safe bubble exit delay. And I don't know. We'll start with 1.5 seconds. A second is actually like a lot of time. Anyway, so we don't really. This should be a const actually. I don't see this changing. Well, this could change. Another possible upgrade is increasing duration of safety delay when exiting a safe bubble. Okay, so I have a bool, I think, am in safe bubble, false. And then we just private void exit safe bubble impl called after delay. You should have a separate OneNote doc for upgrade. Really? No. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of OneNote is this. This is notes, right? But then I would take this into my not yet implemented ideas, and then I got an upgrades page. I mean, you could also link to it in OneNote, right? I'm pretty sure I could do. Actually, I don't know how to do it, so I'm not gonna do it in a demonstrative way here, because it very well may be the case that it's not something you can do. I'm pretty sure it's something you can do. At work, mine are basically like that, but the PMs create some incredibly rich interconnected OneNotes. And here we just set up invoke. That just means do a thing after a delay, basically. So we just call that function that actually flips the bool after our delay. Come on, killing me, game. And then here we flip the bool to true. And then for advance death box, we will early exit if we're in our safe bubble. Is that... Oh, I also want this to be... We're gonna override our warning text to be... We'll probably put something else there for later, but for now we'll do ZZZ and like a nice friendly blue. Okay. I think that's all I have to do. Yeah, so now we just call those new functions on the world. Enter safe bubble and world exit safe bubble. Is it not exit? Leave? Safe? I didn't make it public, maybe? Maybe I copy pasted, they have the same function name. Oh, it is. Oh, yeah, okay. One is public, one is private. Isn't Obsidian supposed to be more like a code text editor? I guess like any code text editor can do Markdown. It's probably not as nice as Obsidian if it's like a whole sort of note-taking system similar to OneNote, but VS Code actually has pretty solid Markdown support. You can get real-time preview, some automatic stuff like table of contents. Exit safe bubble, call our function. Oh no, why are you doing this to me, game? Hit some random shortcut that's spawned in Anaconda terminal. All right, and then I only want this to happen once. Public, private. Wait, I keep hitting some weird modifier key. M activated. False. But we do M activated. What? Oh, I didn't set the type. And this is supposed to be private. Activated. It's true. And this. And when we exit, we're gonna get component in children. Well, I guess if we're on the safe bubble itself, we can just get component. Sprite renderer enabled false. We're gonna basically like, we'll do a animation in the future, but this is like the equivalent of popping the bubble. All right. What's wrong? I lost the A somehow. All right, last in world manager, when we spawn our special chunk. Oh. Where are we spawning our safe bubble thing? We're also going to early exit from this. This spawning thing is a little bit temp, but I'm just going to add the early exit here as well. And then when we spawn chunk, which is not in this script, that's why I can't find it. It's in a platform. It's in platform. There you go. Where is our special? Okay, here. All right, rest area. So we make our prefab, and then we just need to say, hey, rest area, give me your get component in children, because it'll be on the child object there. Safety bubble or safe bubble dot set world manager m world. All right. I think that should be enough to stop our safety bar. Or our death box. Our safety bubble will now stop our death bar. So we're now in chunk 1. Oh, I almost made it. I knew it was a stretch. Oh, and then I didn't believe in myself trying to sneak around that edge. Oh, this is so annoying. Alright, got it. Alright, this is chunk 2-ish, I think. This is why I feel like I need one-way platforms in the beginning. Uh-oh, we crashed. Yeah, it's if we have one-way platforms, it's a lot. Oh, I forgot to put a safe bubble on the rest area. But yeah, with one-way platforms, I never get in a situation like that where I have to need to sneak around. It's just so much easier. And I think it's much more appropriate for the beginning of the game. Anyway, prefabs, special, rest area. Open this up. Bubble. Add components. We're gonna need a circle collider and it's a trigger to detect when the player runs into it. We'll also have to set the layer here. Safe bubble. Oh, website change on the rest area. That's not what I want to do. Okay, yeah. Spawnable data, this doesn't need it. Get out of here, spawnable data. There is no difficulty, although maybe that'll be used in the future, but I'm gonna clean up to what I'm actually doing now and plow forward. You know, it's what is it? Rush forward, charge forward. I don't know. Circle collider is trigger and then safe bubble. I think that's it. All right, what do we expect to happen? We hope we don't crash when we interact with the safe bubble. See, the sneaking around. I feel like this is fine later on, but like right at the beginning, too hard. And this is even me. Again. Crashed again. Oh, I didn't set up the collision layers. I was thinking like, wait a second, why did the collision event fire in the first place when I didn't actually collide with it? It just was when it spawned. It's because it's colliding with other stuff in the world because I didn't set up the collision layers here. So yeah, the whole idea is the safe bubble can only collide with the player and nothing else. So we don't have to do any runtime checking. The only collision that will ever cause that script to happen is the player collision. All right. Again, we hope this doesn't crash. And we want to be able to see in the scene view the bar stop when we enter the bubble. Ha! Although that is bad. I need to fix that. I don't know if you saw what happened there, but basically, because this creeps below, I was in a position where I found it difficult to get to the main platform area of this. And so I triggered it and immediately untriggered it, which I don't want to be the case. I want you to be able to, like, only leave when you're ready type deal. I think I need to just squish this down on the Y. Basically. And maybe scoot it down a sec. And slightly more X to make up for that. But really, I actually want it to be like this, so you can't even really fall. You only really trigger this if you are well within the safety. This is roughly good. Because these side platforms are for sort of leaving. The center platform is like the main. And I just need to probably just remove the circle collider and re-add it, and it'll. Oh, nope, it won't be right. All right, yeah. I guess I can't do a circle collider. I need a like capsule or an ellipse. Capsule's probably fine. Why is this? Oh, I need it to be horizontal. Like this. Ah, you're kidding. Alright, like that. And scoot it in. That's probably good enough. Alright, let's try it again. Save this prefab. Oh no. Sometimes the cross jump is easier, sometimes the same side jump is easier. I feel like I've fallen 3 times now. I kind of find it surprising the wall isn't on my tail. I'm gonna wait oh, I got a rest zone. I want to wait a second to get my danger UI appearing. Test the danger UI real quick, then jump into it. I want to see the bar stop while it's on the screen. I don't even have to look at the scene view. Uh-oh, got knocked down. Don't die. Is it coming up? Maybe it's not. Maybe it... Oh, no, yeah, it is. It's just pretty slow in this beginning. This is only the 4th chunk, I guess. Oh, we're worried. We're very worried. But now we're not. Oh, no! I can't collide with it. What the heck? I thought I made it a trigger. Oh, when I switched from Capsule Collider, or when I switched from Circle Collider to Capsule Collider, I lost the trigger setting. Alright, this time for sure. So far we've crashed 2 times. We had an awkward placing the 3rd time, and then the 4th time our collider blocked us instead of letting us pass through. So 5th time's the charm, as the saying goes. Alright, we're gonna wait a second for our UI to appear. Man, this acceleration has not had a lot of time to get working. I guess this is a good time to visualize how close it is. Alright, it stopped. We did it. And the chickens, the existing chickens continue to fly through, but no chickens, what's the word? No chickens are spawning now. Now if I jump up, we get our next chunk to go to. Stuff is spawning up there, but it's fine. I guess we might need to consider animals. I think maybe I could add a hard shell around this to prevent animals from hitting it. The ZZZ goes away. The bar starts rising again. Oh, I guess you know what I didn't pay attention to? Did the time difficulty continue to increase? Let's see if I can... Oh, I'm dead. Fuck. Let's get there really quick to find out. I don't want to waste too much time on this. I could just check the code, but I'm almost there. Say that. Oh, I gotta go be on the higher one. I feel like it should be both, not just one out of the 2. Especially in this earlier section. Alright. So... Okay, time difficulty is still increasing. I don't know, is that favorable? It's kind of a lie that this is a rest area if the difficulty timer is slowly increasing. So let's get rid of that. It's probably somewhere in World Manager. So if I'm difficulty timer, yeah, this needs to instead say if I'm in safe bubble. If I'm not in a safe bubble, advance the difficulty timer and stuff. Okay. Next. Is that it? Well, I guess, to be fair, I should really test that. Jump up quick. Let's not waste time. All right, 26, 26, 6. I think my max height could still increase it. Yeah, there it's 31, 6. But it's 6 is not increasing. And if we break our bubble, I feel like we should not set the minimum timer in the bubble case. It won't be triggering on and off. It's a very discrete state. So world manager in our bubble case, do not set this. Just set it to 0. Okay, let's look at our to-do. Special chunks, yeah, pretty much. It's not complicated, but rush chunk, done. All right, basic shop. We're on the last two. We got probably like 30, 45 more minutes to go. Things are looking good to get all our tasks today, which is cool stuff. It's a good start to having this task board type deal. Okay, most basic exchange, healing for coins. Okay. Or I lose my Visual Studio there. All right. So what we want to do is we go into our prefab bucket, rest area 0, we duplicate it, we name shop 0. And here I feel like I should put a guy in just to designate it as a shop. Or maybe I'll reverse the, I don't know. I need a, if I don't change anything, I feel dumb. I know this is dumb, but oh, you know what I didn't check that I can check after the shop stuff? Um, is I wasn't looking for delay. I guess it's only a second and a half, but I should double check that that delay is definitely happening for sure. Anyway, so shop 0, we got a bubble. I'm gonna add in a dude. So that's just a 2D object, sprite, shopkeeper. Um, so we're gonna use the same as the player sprite, but I'm gonna color shift it. Maybe make it slightly bigger. And I want to flip him so he's looking towards the middle. Add some sprite text. I don't think sprite text is a simple problem. Yeah, I think I eventually want some text here. Well, I definitely want text in the case of I have to tell you how much things cost. For sure, right? How do we get sprite text? Do I could just do UI text all the time and just like constantly be doing like screen to world. That might be the way to do it, but okay. Text mesh is what it's saying it wants me to add. So let's see if this is simple. Mesh render, okay, sure. Text mesh, the quick brown fox. I don't know why I thought that was hard. It seems simple. Are there problems I'm not anticipating? I don't know. Uh, So I want to set the font to the other font I'm using, which is just ChemPixel. And then reduce the size. Okay. So I think I want to put this on like a bot. I don't want to put this on the shop. Except the shop tier, I can put this like just like, hey, buy something. We can do this as something else in the future. I'll make him classic golds, FF D700. Oh, cause he's already pink. You know what? I'm gonna, whatever. It's not something to do right now. Plow forward. Remember, just make him a bit yellower. This is pretty much as yellow as he can get. It's fine. He just needs to be different. No, I don't need it now. You're right. But people, yeah, you're right. I don't need it now, but I just feel like I would like it in the future. You know what I mean? You could give them like a list. I could come up with like 20 things for them to say and just have them say it really quick. It's just like a nice little polished thing. But you're right in pointing out probably that like not the time. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I got it. Let's get the text that's actually associated with the price. So what I'm gonna do for that is I think I'm gonna make a copy of our heart here. And I'm gonna call it buyable heart. Okay. Spawnable data, no. Spawn and destroy, maybe, but not right now. We probably don't want to do the same thing as the health type thing. It worked well, but I don't want to do it automatically. I need to be able to check the money. No, yeah, I'm basically just like if you look, it's only the sprite render in the circle. Why not a health? Because money is just another health bar. Yeah, but I don't have anything that has the ability to say like if you only do damage or only fire this trigger if you have like 100 coins. Basically, what I mm, I don't. That's a. I think that's a fine. That'll work, but I don't like that. I guess it's like is that another like sort of longer term polish thing? But I don't like that longer term. And if I'm setting up the shop tech now, I might as well just set up the shop tech. Yeah, but I feel like that's what I'm gonna just do. I mean, like you saw for what's it called, Safe Bubble. Like, look, I'm not really saving myself that much boilerplate by switching into the system. It's really just this. And then here where I do activated, no, it'll probably use the same pattern here where when it's spawned, the world will like inform itself, and then it'll ask the world if the play world is a bad name, but it basically is game logic top level. Um, so the only thing that sits higher than the world manager in the hierarchy is the game state manager, which is basically like handling the difference between you winning the game, losing the game, restarting the game. Let's see, can I get a paint up here? Why not? Why is the shop not ask the player for their money? Because like that's why I'm saying world is just a bad name. Um, world basically means top level game logic where you have so GSM here is like starting the game. Like when you're in the game, you have world. Why is money not in player? It is in player. But I guess this doesn't know what the player is. Well, I guess it does. It's the thing that collided with it. Hmm. But I have to know the world anyway. Hmm. I think you're right that it's not in the world at all right now. I would actually have to plummet through. So all it really needs to do, I think, is grab the player. It can just have its own listener in parallel to this, using the same sort of assumption. Yeah. Well, yeah. The safe bubble, the shop doesn't have to. The safe bubble does, but like the safe bubble is a different component that's like part of the shop, if you know what I mean. So you're right. It'll be a whole different script that has a parallel on trigger enter, because the only thing that can collide with it will be we just put this also on the safe bubble, and the only thing that can collide with it is the player. So when the trigger happens that like leads to this mattering, um, then we know the player. It's the thing that collided with us. It's the only possible thing that can collide with us. So yeah, let's do that. So in chunks, scripts, spawnables, chunks, safe bubble platform, making a new shop. Actually, there doesn't even need to be a shop. Yeah, maybe on a. Oh yeah, I did want to do that. Cause like it actually wouldn't even be that bad. I think what I do is I so like you see how I have like the layers of collision here where this outer, or I should make this bigger. But like yeah, so this is um the base layer here has the tile map, which is a world like everything can collide with. And then I have bubble, which is a safe bubble only the player can collide with. I just need another bubble that's slightly bigger that only enemies can collide with and have enemies always die. I maybe can do that today, but I want to get this basic shop functionality in. That's like sort of the last thing on the to-do list. And if I do it, assuming I do it with a like sort of buyable object. So I actually I don't even know if this should be in chunks. I guess it's still a spawnable. It's just part of the special chunk. But really what we need is a shop item. Right click, F2, shop item. Okay. Shop item. This should not be this. Be this. Okay. We are going to grab our collider, this boilerplate from this. And so collision, this will be the player. And we have a cost here. Serialized field, private cost. I guess I just make this a base class, right? I can call it shop item base. I was thinking, do I want to have like a separate thing? And I think the answer is no. Like a separate where it's the question is basically whether I do inheritance or I do like two different components. And we're gonna do inheritance. So I can just sort of I'm gonna basically define a virtual function here. Where okay, so we have shop item base, we have a cost, private int m cost. We'll say default 1. On trigger enter, we get the player's health, which is collision. Get component in children. Get components in children. QHEA health. Player health. And then I'm just gonna hit some curse F key combo. Player health is 0 is health, 1 is money. Okay, player health, player money. If player money is greater than or equal to m cost, I do something. I just make a virtual function here. Protected virtual on buy, basically. Is that not how you do it? Oh, you can just not define it? Oh, void. Good. Happy compiler? Still no? It's virtual. I guess I have to make it abstract. That just means like virtual in the base. Okay. Okay, so if player money is greater than cost, we just call on buy. And you can see how this can sort of, all I need to do now is make components that just have to say what they do on buy. All this sort of like, hey, check in the money and probably making it disappear or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Exit I don't need. But player money is greater than equal cost on buy, and player money dot apply damage and cost. Okay. So what else? Oh, I need to do player money dot like get current. What? How do I get health? Get health. Okay, and then on else we will flash our text red. So we will need to get a child text on awake. And we want to set its stuff to our cost anyway. We make that general. We don't have to set it up on everything. So private text m cost text. Cost text is get component in children text, and mcost text dot text is mcost string plus a $sign. And then if you try and buy something and you can't, we're gonna make our cost text dot color is red as feedback. All right. Good. Everything good. We compiling. I see no compile errors. Okay. Make a new script here. And we're gonna call it shop item heart. So this just inherits from shop item base. Whoops, this is the wrong file. And we have to define a protected override void on buy. In which case we want to get the players. Well, I guess we also would want to add a field here for healing amount. One is a default. On by, we get the player's health. I think on by should pass the player. And then we can say player dot get component in children. No, just get component. We want the first one, which is the Q health. Apply healing of M healing amount. And then I think I also want to go back to the base and have like a repeatable type deal. Like private bool M one time buy and default to true. But we'll do two different kinds of hearts here to test both these configurations. But yeah, so on this, in the case where we actually do the buy, if M one time buy, then destroy this. I'm gonna add a may. I keep hitting this key combo. I have no idea what it is. Killing me, Visual Studio. May want to go through QI destroyer if buying to make things like playing sound or spawning particles easier in response to this. Okay, but for now we're just gonna die. If it's not a one-time buy, we do a cooldown, so it just doesn't. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. I'm having it both options. So I just if I want it to be multi-perchable, I set this to true. Oh god, yeah. It's I never know how much the delay is. That's probably something I can set, but like I don't know. It's probably something only like pro gamers care about when they're getting sniped or whatever. Yeah, if one time buy destroy, if it's not a one time buy, we still want to like trigger some cooldown, just so you don't like I don't know. So you have to like keep running into it type deal. I don't want you to accidentally buy like a million. Repeat buy. And I can hide the text as well to make it transparent. So let's say after you buy something, you have to 2.5 seconds. So if we're not a one-time buy, then we need a timer. We have a cooldown, we need a timer go with it. M repeat by timer. Okay. If M repeat by timer equals K repeat by cooldown, and then we add an update private void on update, or just update? Yeah. On update, we check if our M repeat by timer is greater than 0. Or I guess it's more if it's, yeah, if it's greater than 0, we decrement it. And if it goes below 0 this frame, then we will re-enable our collider and stuff. Right, I don't even need to do that. I can just say if M repeat by timer is greater than 0.0f, early out. Um, and here we will decrement. This is where we switch it. So yeah, we want to make our cost text visible again. Cool. But here, where we buy it, we want to make it invisible. I think that's all we need. What else? Thinking what? Oh, we have to actually set up that. Yeah, so now we just have to make that prefab. We make this prefab, and we don't even need to spawn it anywhere. We just need to manually add it to our shop. In the future, the shop will probably work in the same sort of list selection system where it has like some things that can spawn. And I'll like preset some positions. But for the purpose of this test, this initial setup, we're just gonna spawn them in. So buyable hearts, I'm gonna say buyable hearts 0, and then we'll duplicate heart 2 here for buyable heart 1. Buyable heart 1. Oh, I duplicated the wrong thing. I'm gonna delete this because I'm gonna set up buyable heart 0 and then I'll duplicate that. So this needs a trigger, which it is already, but it needs to switch from hearts to a new layer called shop item. And we want to do the same setup in project settings where shop item can only collide with the player and nothing else. Okay. Switch the layer. Whoops. Clicked the wrong thing. Okay. What else? We need that new component we just made, which was shop item heart. So yeah, this cost in our one-time buy deal, we're inheriting from our base class. I'm gonna say cost is 5. Oh, we'll say 3 to heal for 5. Or if the repeatable one, we'll say 3 to heal for 1. This is not a one-time buy. Is there anything else I need to put on this before I duplicate it? The text. Mesh. Oh, it needs to be a child. So create empty. Call this cost text. Mesh or text mesh. We write some stuff. We switch it to our font. Can we make it smaller? No. Ooh, this might not work. Oh wait, we can do it in scale? Yeah, cool. Even a little bit smaller. I want to make, instead of upper left, I want it to be middle center as my anchor. I feel like that's your expected anchor for sprites, because then I can put the X to like 0, 1. Nice and simple stuff there. And maybe it's down a little bit more. Cool, and maybe this 8. That works for the heart. All right, we're gonna make our text gold, and its value will be set by the script. Anything else I need to do? I want to double check here that we're getting component in children. Yep. Cool. I think. Oh, okay. So we have our Bible Heart 0. Now we can duplicate it to our Bible Heart 1, where this is going to have a cost of 5. It's going to be a one-time buy, and it's going to heal you 3. And I'm going to make this more significant, so I definitely know the difference. Okay. So we have Bible Heart 1 now. So we go back to our shop prefab now. And we're just gonna manually place those boyos. It's possible. I think I need to worry about how this all despawns. But for now, let's just get into the game. Let's try it. See what's wrong. Probably won't be right the first time. So we're just gonna go on our world manager, and where it's currently spawning rest areas, instead we're gonna spawn shops. I don't really want to engage right now with like how frequently I spawn a shop versus how, you know, did it crash? Oh no, it did not focus. All right, we're gonna have to gain some money on our way up. It'll spawn on chunk 4, so that's pretty soon. Oh, I wish there were baddies too. I need to be damaged to know if I'm healing. Okay, great. We are already failing here. This looks like the same sort of failure though. Oh, cost text not set. What's up, real quick? Oh, it's a text mesh, not text. Why not add a keybind for modifying coins health at will? Yeah, I probably should have a set of debug keybindings. That's a good point. But I don't, and it's not a... Actually, it isn't that bad. But I'm gonna put it in future tasks. Yeah, not really next time, but I'm gonna put add offline dev task for debug controls, spawning enemies, toggle height overlay info, give take health money, and then I'm gonna just say X. All right. So yeah, that was failing because oh, what's wrong? Text mesh does not contain enabled, really? What? How can everything can be enabled? Oh, I guess it's mesh renderer needs to be that's annoying. Now I have 2 different components to deal with. It's not the end of the world. Oh. I think I was reading an article on this that Unity has got this used to be inefficient and you wanted to cache like every component you'd ever need. But I think I read something in like casual sort of everyday normal usages. This is pretty much as performant as just caching it now. And caching it manually is no longer really necessary. Alright, kill me game. It's really overdue to fix these to do the sort of jump curve work. It's a little bit intimidating because it's mathy. It's a lot easier to reorganize scripts and stuff, which is what I did this weekend. Reorganize scripts and write out all the plans for cool stuff I want to do. That's fun as shit. Fucking doing physics is not as fun. All right, buy something. We have our $3, we have our $5. That set those values properly. Good to see. If I hop over, boop, it gets rid of the text. Oh, right, it was supposed to because this is a repeatable. But before we go repeat, we'll try to buy this. And yeah, it says no, you can't. Maybe I should reset that back. But you're never gonna get more money here. Yeah, it looks right to me. But I think what I don't know if I want to put it in the safe bubble. I don't know what the good way is to destroy, I'm not sure what a good way is to destroy the shop items once you leave the safety bubble. Maybe there's no reason to? Maybe you leave the safety bubble, the bar keeps rising, but like I don't care if you want to go back and buy a heart. Right? I don't see a problem with that. And that doesn't really have any problems with sort of the one-time upgrades, kind of like the pillow in Slay the Spire or whatever, where it's like you heal. Yeah. Yeah, basically this sort of world, this enter safe bubble, exit safe bubble, maybe it makes sense to subscribe to that. I think I want to defer that to defer handling despawning old shop items to when do more robust safety bubble interaction with time slow. Yeah, it's going to be one of those two. Either I think it actually might be nice to have for this to have its own animation where it kind of like shrinks in on itself, maybe like he's sort of escaping. Interdimensional shopkeeper set up shop in this dangerous place, got your money, and then is yeeting out of here type deal. That might be cool, having him like sort of like a black hole type thing, just sort of a vortex he disappears into, maybe. Yeah, some effect, I don't know. Or it could just be they could just work on the same system as like how some of these animal spawn boxes work, where if the player gets far enough away from you, you like turn yourself off and could maybe get rid of yourself, destroy yourself. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Another special zone gambling slot machine or whatever. Just easiest thing in the world to implement, right? Oh, I was just thinking like a straight slot machine where you can like pay pay 5 to play the slots, and like then I just have a table of outcomes where you can maybe most of the time you lose money, but you can maybe increase your money. Uh, cursed or like gamble hearts, where buying them provides variable healing and maybe may not even heal you. Wolf Intimate Play have a table of outcomes with probabilities. Could even give random upgrade item as grand prize. That's an interesting thing to do. And yeah, like I said, easiest thing in the world to implement. But I think we are, I mean, oh yeah. Another round of upgrades. Increase your luck at gambling. Man, my spelling is so... I'm pretty sure I mentioned this like every other stream, but my spelling is awful. I think this might be it though, right? If we take a look at our OneNote. Allow most basic exchange healing for coins. Yeah. Basic shop UI container for future upgrades. I feel like I've done that because basically all I need to do is define a new shop item base here, like shop item heart, and here in on buy. Look at this is why I like inheritance. Like you get to just make stuff like this that's like basically one line of code. On buy, apply healing, and then we just need on buy, enable upgrades. The UI, like this is already a like decently robust UI in that it can display the costs. Yeah, I guess I can do. I think I can call that done, and I can apply some nice little polish odds and ends here, where I'm gonna do that bubble thing, and I'm also gonna. Oops, that's wow. I'm gonna do that bubble thing, and I'm also gonna switch to flashing red instead of going red if I can. I'm pretty sure I have flashing red as like one of my most basic animations, where I don't even really need chicken, QAnon canvas group. No, okay, I don't have it yet. I don't have it in here. but that's a dead simple thing to add. So yeah, we're gonna go animator. Don't need any of this. Not avatar. I need to go to window, animation, animation. It says to begin animating cost text, create a clip. Do that. I go to assets, graphics, animation. I'm gonna make a new animation for text, I think. We're gonna call this flash red. And we get our text mesh or mesh render. What is it on? That's on the text mesh. Where's color? Can I not do color? What the heck? Oh, I guess it's on the mesh renderer technically. That's not how it's exposed in the editor, which is a little confusing. But I expect this to work. Okay. Move this over. And we are going to go from white, add key. It's from white to white is flashing red. So first key here is 111. Second key here, 100. Then we go back to 111. Oh, I guess its color is gold. That's so annoying. Ugh. What is this number? 51. Oh, it's an HSV, RGB. RGB 0 to 1. 0.85. I always like when things have like a layer of white to tint them. When you're dealing with a base color, it can be a little bit annoying. But at least in this case, it's just that and 0 on the blue. Okay, close enough. So that'll let us flash red. I also want to fade out and fade in. Well, do I? No, I think actually the discrete of just like appearing and disappearing is fine too for like a thing happen. I think fading out is kind of, it seems wrong to me for that. Oh yeah, we look in the animator. I'm trying to grab. All right, exit, flash red. No, we need a default state that has no motion. Flash red over in our animations needs to be changed to not be loopable. We only want it to play once. Where'd you go? Oh, under text. No looping. And then default is the default state. And when you flash red, you will transition back to the default state. Okay. Now in our shop item base, we get an animator here where we would set it to red. Instead, what we're going to do is this cost text, get component, animator. And instead of turning it on or off, we're playing an animation, and that animation is flash red. All right, let's test that really quick. Oh, I didn't see you had some additional things in there. I kind of want to add them. Increase your lucky gambling or alter prize pool, add new grand prizes. Okay. All right, so we want to, oh, I forgot. Yeah, cost text here. I want to copy this onto the other prefab. And in the future, I will just be using these as a base. Animator good, cost text good. All right, let's see. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? The default animation speed is always too fast. Let's set this to like 0.2. I think I'm just supposed to like spread out the keyframes on the animation graph if I want it to go slower, but like just as a convenience, I like having them be sort of close together, and then I just slow it down as much as I need to. Okay, we're jumping. We're in the shop. We have 3 parts. We have $3. We can buy this. And then we won't be able to afford this, so it should flash red. Bit too fast, but also it looks like it's becoming invisible. That's not supposed to happen. Am I setting an alpha value to something weird? Window, animator. Where are you, animator? Where'd you go? You hidden behind Visual Studio? No? Oh, I had to No? I do not see the animator. You know what, I'm pretty sure I can open it by just opening an animation. Oh yeah, I have this at 0. That was a mistake. It should be 1. Cool. Yeah, we don't want any fading. So we fixed that, and we're also gonna slow it down a tiny bit. And we'll try one more time, and I think we're good. And then we can add our enemy death bubble. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna. Maybe I can do that today. What time are we? 8:52. I don't know. I'll maybe I just put it on next time. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I can do it if I do the other thing really quick. All right, jump up to our shop. I don't have enough money for anything, so this should flash red. It doesn't. Animator does not have an animator controller, so that's a copy-paste thing. I think I didn't set up that prefab properly. Let's check our this. This looks right though. This works. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who doesn't understand that. Makes sense to me. Maybe I should also flash this red. But I don't know, I feel like this is like... Why is that a non-trivial task? Because I don't know for sure. I don't know. It might be easy, but at the same time, it might be the case that things that are initially overlapping don't count as on trigger enter. You know what I mean? Like technically I never actually entered the trigger. I started my life within the trigger. It might not fire on trigger enter, and if it does, it'll be the first frame. It won't be it'll be like, well, we're still in the start menu. It won't like so it's that kind of stuff. It's not. Couldn't that be? I mean, yeah, but I'm like by easily we're talking within less than 5 minutes at this point, pretty much, because I still want to do the murder bubble really quick. I'd rather do that first. I think that's gonna look cool. Yeah, I'm gonna add that. But then I feel like it's a starting area can integrate into starting the game, have player jump out of it to start game, or in general have starting the game be a result of jumping somewhere. And then I'll also add in the notes here. can maybe use safety bubble tech for interesting platforms. Later on, can maybe make sections that otherwise would be impossible more reasonable and strategic. Similar, or reasonable, similar, although not strategic. Strategic, though, to Wonder Wing and Banjo-Kazooie. I feel like that's a weird... Do you have a different time cut? Is there another... Did they do it in Celeste, maybe? Where it's impossible, but here's some time bubbles, so now it is, like, reasonably possible when you're slowing stuff down all the time? I know that's in a bunch of games, but I'm struggling to think of an example right now. But here, I gotta hurry, because if I want to be able to end up around 9, let's do our murder bubble really quick. First, we want to review our enemy to see how it's dying. Destroy on clamp. Stop movement on destruction. Spawn. Blah blah blah. None of this really does what I want it to do. So I think I just make it deal like 999 damage, right? I just have it deal 999 damage and only collide with enemies. Using health for everything. That's the underlying tech of this game is health. Alright, so on chunks, no, this is scripts. On prefabs, platform special, in rest area, on our bubble here, we want to add a secondary... We're going to basically copy our bubble and call this enemy death bubble. And let me see this. It needs no sprite. And its size should probably be like very slightly smaller in both directions. That looks right. Probably 0, 0, that's right. Okay, and then safe bubble, we make a new layer that is enemy death bubble. And we go to our collision layers, do the same thing we've done a few times today, except we're not hitting the play, we're hitting enemies. So enemy death bubble only hits enemies. Okay, so we set that. And get rid of safe bubble. And we don't need any special logic. I think we just tap into health, damage, other, on trigger enter. Required tag, we don't have to set a tag because we're just relying on layers. Fire on enter, yes. Amount, 999. Destroy self, no. Only fire once, no. All right. So we copy that into shop. Oh, wait, I forgot. One of our buyable hearts was wrong, right? It didn't have an animator. Ah, yeah. Use... Where... Why can I not use an existing animator for this? Oh, yes, I can. I just wasn't seeing it. Cost text. Cool, 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 cool. I want to make sure that's set in here as well. Don't want to forget about that. Or I'll be like, scratching my head wondering what's going wrong. Okay. What am I checking? Oh, right. The text needs an animator, which needs a runtime controller. There you go. We did it. And we added death bubbles to the rest area. And the layer sets. This all looks good. Layers. This enemy death bubble set. All right, looks good. Looks good. Okay. Now we also want to get rid of that logic in World Manager where it doesn't spawn chickens when we're in a safety bubble, because now we do want them to spawn. We want them to spawn to their death. And let's see if that works. Dang, 9:01. We didn't finish on time. But pretty much, in terms of task lists, we did it today. Little distraction, but I got everything planned for today. So that means we're starting upgrades next Tuesday, which is pretty cool. You know, I've been like, you know, every sort of thing I've implemented, I've been thinking like, oh, but what's an upgrade for that? So it'll be neat to finally get to that system. That did not work, right? That chicken is not dying at all. Let's look at our scene. And we want to find PS1, no, Shop Zero, okay. Alright, let's pause the game. I don't need it like spawning stuff. Shop Zero. Enemy death bubble. It has the correct layer. Seems like it's... Oh, do our enemies not have destroy on death, maybe? Prefabs, chicken. Yeah, they don't. Because the player doesn't have any way to damage them, right? Or no, aren't they? Oh yeah, they're just destroying other and then destroying themselves as like a functional thing using the same logic that projectiles and such use. So I need to add destroy on death. That's all. And a similar delay to whatever its existing delay is, which is 0.4. And I want to see if our particles and stuff, our death burst, does require flag 1. So we're going to add, well, ew, I remember that. That's fine, I think. It's going to play the sound, which maybe could be annoying. I don't know if it will be. We'll see. If it is annoying, we can just make the flag system more robust and differentiate the flag for hitting this death bubble versus what's the word? Being hit by the player. Because technically the death sound is supposed to be the player's death. Or the player being hit. So this is a little... Why are we lagging so hard? What's going on here? Oh, our chickens don't have health. That explains. Yeah, there we go. That makes sense. 1. Okay. And we need that on the rats as well. Destroy on death. Did I already do that? No. Oh, using flag 1 does exclude the sound. Awesome. That's what I wanted it to do. I already set it up how I wanted it. Great stuff. Great stuff. Anyway, health. 1 health. Okay. Alright, goal here. Climb up to a shop, double check our animations on the cost works correctly. And see that the enemy death thing also works. Did not. Did I not? Do I need to do this? I should fix that. Yeah, not awake. Start. So what's happening there is Destroy Undeath was loading slightly before health. And so when it tried to get the health didn't exist yet. Awake is like the first possible second. Start is once everything is loaded right before my first frame. So start should be the time I want that to kick in now. I want pixely particles for these hearts. And I probably want a different sprite for coins. Object not set to reference of an object. What do you mean? Just start is not good enough? For what? Yeah, I thought this would be easier. On death. I don't know, maybe I did something. Oh yeah, I did something while the game was running. I added this health while the game was running, so it got rid of it. So annoying. I never remember when I do that, because like, you know, sometimes you know, you notice something, you pause, then you make some changes. But if the game is still paused when you like stop loading the game, it will undo what you did. It assumes any changes you make while the game is running aren't permanent. I think there might be a setting to change that, but I don't know. You can also just, if you notice you're doing it, you can copy the components from the, alright, kill me game. You can copy the components from the other one. Alright, let's grab our 5 heart. Man, our guys are still not dying. What's the deal with that? I thought this would be like the little easy thing at the end of the night. I am very surprised that this turned out to be the thing that did not just work. Alright, enemy death bubble, capsule, trigger. It needs a rigid body, I think. I don't want to give, oops, I just did the same thing. I don't want to give a rigid body to the chickens, I don't think, because there's so many chickens. But I can give a rigid body to this one, like, enemy death bubble, because it's only intersecting with enemies and stuff. I think that's all I need to do. My under... What? Oh, I had the rigid body to the wrong thing? No, I didn't. I didn't for the shop. Rest area set up? Okay, it has a static rigid body. Maybe it didn't before, I can't remember. We're gonna have to try it again. Yeah, I think collision, you can have a trigger collision. I don't know why my Unity graph wake up thing is complaining, but I think you can't have a trigger collision. At least one thing needs to be a rigid body. Oh, look at all those money. I just can't get up there. No. Oh yeah, just barely. That's the edge of the bounds there. Alright. Kill some chickens, please. I don't know what the problem is. What are chickens not enemies? That could be it. Good thing I didn't put this on my list though. I don't have to say I slipped it. I wasn't planning on doing this. They are on the enemy layer. Maybe I said it wrong? Or I should break to see if it's firing. Damn it. Enemy death bubble. Maybe it's missing some. No, damage other than trigger enter. Fire on enter. Amount save fire once. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go the other direction. I should have just done this from the beginning. I feel like this is an example of where I'm trying to like overuse my common components, where I'm trying to shoehorn in like a health and damage solution here, because it like seemed like an obvious thing, but like, do I really need to save myself from writing the fucking 1 second script that says destroy on collision? That might even already exist. Platforms, special, rest area 0, enemy death bubble, get rid of the rigid body, get rid of this. Enemy death bubble, well, I think I actually do. I think that thing is still correct that you need at least one rigid body. We're gonna get rid of damage alarm, bigger rather, just like a destroy. Yeah. We're just gonna add a new little component. Destroy other on collision. I should say trigger enter. Hey, this is something I can use a QI simple trigger reaction for. And then I just override on trigger. So put this in MISC, destroy callbacks. Destroy other on collision. Oh, I need to rename this. Uni doesn't like it if the names differ. Destroy other on trigger enter. Close. All right, cool. It's a simple trigger reaction where we have our override function here. We just do collision, get component, QI destroyer dot destroy or begin destruction. That's all. And let's double check our collision layers. Well, let's double check our special platform, because I don't think it has that new thing I added. Maybe it's a kinematic, perhaps. Enemy death bubble and this new destroy other on trigger enter. Or an enter. Copy component. It's the rest area. We go to the shop. We go to its enemy death bubble. Get rid of the health stuff. Paste this. We also add the rigid body. I think in some cases I added components to the wrong child. It might have worked. Is this on like the base shop? Yeah, there's just like kinematic rigid body. Should be static. Alright, I think. Right. Rest area 0. Ah, yeah, see, that might have been the problem. I didn't add the rigid body to the thing. I set it on, since it's like a compositive object, I was setting it to the wrong piece of the object. I'm pretty sure I didn't break my assumptions there. I'll find out in a second when it spawns the thing as the fourth chunk. If I fall right through it, I messed up its base rigid body and I have to change it back. I do not, but we are still not killing these chickens. What the heck, chickens? Enemy death bubble has destroy other on trigger enter. It's in enemy death bubble. It has no Z. Let's take a look at this chicken. You chicken. Are you in a weird Z position? Why aren't you colliding with things? No, you're on the enemy layer. Wait. Where is your... Oh my god. They don't have any... I'm dumb. The enemies don't have any collider. They have a child's separate trigger thing. Is that how it's supposed to be? Did I mess it up? Yeah, I did mess it up. I bet I'll see it in version control. Once again, dumb and saved by version control. The Conor Lavelle story. Alright. Oh wait, did I add this? This doesn't seem right. I think it's... Yeah, I don't see changes in the... Well, let's F5, make sure I'm seeing the most. Okay, no, that is how it's supposed to be. It's just wrong on the jumping route for some reason. So I must have accidentally selected that when I was dealing with this. I don't want selected lines. I want reset all this. Yeah, okay. Our jumping rat should hopefully be fixed. Our rat... Oh, it makes sense that the chickens don't need one. Because the chickens fly, and they can fly through the world. I see, I see, I see. Okay. If I... What's the best way around this? I think I just have to make a new layer for like flying enemy. So I can give this guy a enemy collides with enemy and world. An enemy death bubble. Okay, it's simple enough. So yeah, I can make a new one that is enemy death bubble only, not world, and I can give this a collider, and then we're back to where this should hopefully work. Damn, I really like 20 minutes on this, 25. I did not expect this to be the thing, but goes to show you never know what the thing's gonna be. Okay. So to do that, I go to layers, add layer, flying enemy, and then I go to my collision matrix. I set it up so flying enemy can only intersect with not the player, because player and enemy doesn't actually intersect, right? It's the enemy damage box, enemy knockback trigger thing here that actually, right? Enemy knockback player. The collision matrix is getting complicated. Yeah, but that's correct. I had to double check it. I had to turn my head sideways to look at this collision matrix. Anyway, flying enemy. Everything. It only intersects with the enemy death bubble. Now we set our chickens to be flying enemies. And this object only. And now we can add a circle collider. Open up our chicken. Just tweak it. It's more correct. That's a trigger. 0. I hate when it's like off by a tiny, tiny bit. Okay, good enough. Alright, so now that's a flying enemy. I think this is what we need. The problem was our chicken didn't actually have a collision box because we wanted it to fly through the world. And its knockback trigger that was actually doing the damage could, you know, be responsible for the collision doing the damage. But I didn't set up the interaction between the knockback trigger and the death bubble. It's set up with the enemy itself. So now it should be able to hit both types of enemy, the ground and the flying. I think the ground might have worked before. But, oh my god, we did it. It works. And we'll check our flash red. Works. Check our buy. That should play a sound, but that's a future thing. Alright, let's just, I've been jumping up to the first shop every time, but in theory this should continue working every 4 chunks. So let's just verify that last little bit. Yeah, I think everything should have its own. Right now, this is, pretty much everything is using the game jam sounds. The only thing that is a new sound. Where'd you get this? Yeah, I feel like there must be a set of animal sounds somewhere that I can use. Oh, wait, I think I have broken something. Because look, my money is 0 and it's not going up. I think maybe I have messed up my multi-buy. I bet if I look right now, my player will have money in a seriously negative amount. I have to look in a detailed view. No, it just says 0. Maybe I undid all the negative. But something's weird. Was that correct? I jump in and out there? I couldn't tell. Oh, I gotta also delete. Is this the top? Oh yeah, this is just the top. Shit, I didn't see what was wrong with my I'm not sure how my money's getting messed up. Let me double check that script. Yeah, maybe just some like stickiness, like you have to be in for a couple seconds before it counts. Improve, enter, time, safety bubble. Kick should remove almost all of the cases where destroy it accidentally. Yeah, thanks for coming in. I mean, like, I wanted to stop at 9, but then, like, I wanted to get this last little thing. So I'm just going to debug this thing and then call it. And if I don't get it in the next, like, 5 or 10 minutes, I might even call it with it broken. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Have a good night. What was I? Oh yeah, negative money. I'm suspecting that something in shop item base. It seems like it shouldn't be going negative. Oh, it's piggybacking health logic where damn. Yeah, it's killing the player and then it's like, well, I'm dead. And then it stops working. So I am going to test that theory of the bug and we'll fix it at a future time with the sort of generalization pass by like switching from this from health to like generic global value. But yeah, I'm gonna write a note here to do, and I'll write in here as well. C shop item base piggybacking off health makes it so health turns off when hit 0 because think dead. Need to genericize global value tracker currently health. Okay. To do this is to fix the player money dying from hitting 0. Very counterintuitive that you need X plus $1. Must fix by genericizing Q health to more general global value tracker. Okay. Let's just, what happened to my, all right, we're good. Save, just go in here, see if that happens, and then if it does, if it works again, we call it a night there. A bunch of hearts. I can't test it because I can't get to exactly 0. Now it's going to stop me. But I guess I can at least verify here that I can continue to collect money. It's not some other source of problem with the bug. I want to get exactly 5 and hold on to 5. So that I can put myself to 0 and test this issue. So bam, let's grab this. It healed me and put me to 0. Health, still getting values correctly. Dang. Still killed me, what the heck? Can I save this? Or did I, oh, I did it the wrong way. It needs to go the other way. The health, it should be -1, but we'll do cost +1. We'll find our way to some exact C amount of dollars. 6, 7, 8. Will give me a 3 and a 5. Okay, and so this actually makes sense that it won't let me buy it. This is preventing me from hitting that hit 0 bug. So that's correct. So I actually need +1 heart, and then I'll buy a 5 in the next shop. Okay, I'm at 6. Perfect. Cool. And then this still works. Ooh, what? Oh, right, there are... That's not a bug. There are just higher value hearts higher up. I mean, this balancing makes no sense at this point, but... yeah, everything looks good. Oh, the one thing I have to make a note of is we're just hiding the sprite of the zone right now. We're not going to fix that, but we do need, like, to know that, oh man, I'm getting my teeth kicked in. Oh, this is the top here at 200. Alright, well, it'll catch up with me in a second. I do want to double check. Are we getting any drift problems? I don't think so. Maybe? I need to do, alright. So world manager. Update. If I'm not in the safe bubble, I can do my difficulty stuff. And I update player height, advanced death box. It's actually the platformer. I just want to make sure this is not introducing. Okay, yeah, it shouldn't be messing with next spawn height. It may be messing with M previous from Kwai. It's just saying halfway through. That shouldn't really be the case. It should be like 0.75. I think, is this enough? Probably. Oh, right, and the other note is about the sprite thing. This does not disable enemy death bubble. To fix. Slow C to do in safe bubble.cs. At least should disable enemy death bubble soon. Looks weird with sprite gone. Okay. The last thing we'll check here is we just adjusted the Y offset we were setting, the previous Y position that feeds into the minimum maximum chunk system. We moved it slightly higher up, which should have the effect of making it easier for the next chunk to spawn after a rest or like shop area chunk, one of our special chunks. So to test that, we just want to climb really high up and see what our debug draw chunk looks like as oh crap. Uh-oh. Oh my god, I fell so much. Oh, that makes it... I only made that because I could wall jump. Should be slightly smaller. 0.65 looks way too much. You know what? I can actually see on this shop specifically. This looks fine. This looks fine. I think it's actually fine. I just need to increase the height of these a little bit, so I'm gonna go do that really quick. By putting it further up, I am able to uh I'm able to what's it call it move it closer so it's an easier jump. So right one, up one, or the higher one should be up two. Up one, two. And here, left one, up one. And let's also just slightly tweak our capsule calendars here. Switch from debug to normal, edit. Close enough. I'm gonna rework this a little bit later, so that's fine. We just do one more jump through, make sure that similar jump is reasonable. I can access both of the little shop platforms. Yeah, and this jump is definitely doable. This other jump is doable. This is something that's not super permanent anyway. We're still looking to eventually implement that jump curve system, which would really just turn it into a scientific, like, little scientific mathematical problem. But like I said, it's an intimidating and not very fun piece of work. This is a pretty cursed section of platform here. Gotta go around the right. What was I testing? Oh yeah, that the adjustments to the prefab look fine. The only thing here is you can, while you're navigating this like area, you kind of like need to maybe pick up the heart, and also you can maybe jump out the top. So I think this fundamentally works. I got knocked off. I'm screwed. Alright, where even is the death box? There it is. Okay. Yeah, let's just add a note. Probably need to rework shop layouts a bit, especially with regards to placing death bubbles. They're all put safe death bubbles, and being able to navigate upwards out of shop without accidentally buying anything. All right, that's gonna be it though. We did all the tasks set out for 620. Cool stuff. I was definitely worried I was gonna slip the first time I tried to set some goals. So yeah, next time I might modify this before next time, but Next stream, we're going to be working on the modifier framework to be the foundation for player upgrades. We're going to integrate some of these into the shop. We'll probably do some of those shop tweaks I mentioned at that point. And then maybe add some additional upgrade content. So yeah, next Tuesday is going to be adding upgrades. In terms of offline work, I might add some new tasks based on what I did today. But I still have some pending tasks that I'm going to be trying to do this week offline. Spawn data manager, I don't know if you remember, maybe repeat watcher. We have our platforms and our enemies and stuff that all have minimum difficulties. And right now that's just being rolled by like a guess and check method where it's randomly picking something and then checking if it falls in the right thing. This can be improved. Number one, a bunch of things are doing that same spawnable check. We want to move it into a base class. And then number two, we can use something called segment trees to basically binary search the ranges that would be acceptable for us to roll in to have like log n of complexity there instead of being technically unbound. The guess and check, right? I mean, I bet that's a math problem with like what actually is the true time of like a guess and check method. It probably is bounded if you assume your random numbers are actually random. Like you're eventually gonna roll something within your range, but it's a function of how small your ranges are and how wide your inputs are. So as I add more difficulties and more like things to spawn, that is only going to scale worse and worse. So it's important to get that into a more efficient way of rolling, and we're going to do that with something called segment trees. But yeah, I'm going to do that offline because it's like a highly technical thing. So yeah, we did the basics of our special chunks. We did our warning firewall UI. And our basic shop. So upgrades next time. Some technical guts that may or may not be interesting to you. I'll go into more detail at the beginning of next stream on these. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for me tonight. Check me out, Quiet Bench Zen, Twitter, itch.io, YouTube. I mean, you already know on Twitch. We're on Twitch right now. But yeah, do all the social media things, like, subscribe, whatever, wherever you're seeing this. Please take the second to do the one click easy action that could help me out. I'd appreciate it. And have a good night.